everyone. Welcome back live from Poland. Me and Snods are back in the driving seat. We're ready for some more CS action as we delve into the first best of threes here.
Yes! You've got something in your beard, mate. It's quite off-putting. Yeah, you've got a piece of plastic in your beard. Yeah, it's right there.
Where's that come from?
What is that? It's a bit tinfoil.
Oh, it's a vocal zone that's managed to end up in my beard.
Oh, well,
that's good.
This is derailed already. Where were we? Obviously, matchup we're going to be covering is obviously Avangar versus Renegades, the losers of the initial matches, 16-13 versus Astralis for Renegades, and obviously the 16-10, loss we saw on Cash versus SK that we saw on the B stream.
Yeah, exactly. But it should be good. Obviously, starting off as we love it here on the B stream.
Of course.
As we will get into some actions. But Snods, before that, we can actually have a look at some brackets and work our way through. We have the Group A bracket, so we can work our way through, get a rough idea of how exactly everything gone down if you are only just joining the stream now. Snods, break this down for me.
Yeah, let's go from top to bottom here. Obviously, SK Gaming versus Avangar. The first match we saw on Cash, even though 16-10 scoreline, both pistols won by Avangar, still very one-sided in favor of SK. Moving forward, obviously, Renegades versus Astralis on the mainstream. Jacob top fragging now for the Renegades side. Obviously, the new addition to the, mostly Australian roster. And Astralis pulling through the 16-13 lead there. They go forward into the next best of 3 versus SK. Following that, obviously, Liquid. And this is a team, to me, that's really on the, upward trajectory, right? So far, since CS Summit, since the, addition of Nafly, a team that's really on the rise. Gambit, of course, still trying to work out their kinks, having in Seized, Alpha Fitch, trying to see if they can sort themselves out in terms of roles and how that all situates now. Tali versus Cloud9, a very close matchup that we actually saw as well. 16-14, a game that was 14-14. Skadoodle had that crazy 1 versus 3 to grant them match point. And obviously they'll be going through. And in terms of the lower bracket now, Jack, this is where it becomes, very unforgiving.
Yeah, this is do or die, obviously. You've had that first best of 1. It's out of the way. You've now got into the lower bracket if you took that loss there, and there is no coming back. It is do or die. If you lose your best of 3, you are going to be out of the tournament and going out in groups, and that's not where you want to end your tournament run.
Yeah, obviously, this being a 16-team tournament, going into the lower bracket, you have your teams like Order that got 16-3'd by FaZe, essentially. NIP going into that matchup versus Order, they should be comfortable. Obviously, they play the winner of this best of 3 as well, potentially Renegades versus NIP to make it out of the group.
Yeah. But we also have another group, Group B, so let's check out the bracket there as well, and we can see things, how exactly it's shaped up over there. Obviously, that other game is still going on between Heroic and Fnatic, so we're not sure who is in place just there.
Yeah, obviously, FaZe versus Order, first matchup that Hugo and Harry covered, and then obviously on the mainstream, NIP versus North, G2 versus VP, 7-9, and on Nuke as well. That's a matchup I really want to be seeing right now. Going forward for VP, they had their, I believe it was 9 rounds on their T side on Nuke, and obviously going to the second half of that matchup, and obviously just concluding here on the B stream, Heroic versus Fnatic. So Heroic going into the low bracket, they're about to find which team from VP or G2 they're going to play, and actually I was mistaken earlier, but it is still going to be Order versus NIP, except the winner doesn't play Renegades.
Yeah, which is true, and that is obviously going to be the end of their run as well. So for Order, essentially their last chance to achieve something here and try and bring some pain, they're going to need to bring their A game, and that isn't going to be an easy matchup for them.
Well, it's not. I mean, obviously the goals for these teams, such as we're about to witness here, Avangar, Order as well, qualifying through the online qualifier, coming here to this event, it's about getting experience. Do these teams really feel like they're going to make it out of group straight away? Obviously not. They're here to gain as many matches online in a huge event like IEM Katowice as they can, and obviously try to shake off the nerves, learn how to deal with such pressure. And a great addition to this tournament as well, Jack, is the new GSL format of having the best of 3s. And could you imagine, coming all the way from Australia to play 2 best of 1s, to be smacked, 16-3 versus FaZe. If they get handled as well by NIP, poor performance, and for them it'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah, not going to be ideal for them at all, but it does provide you a lot in terms of what you can do with it after the event. Obviously, you're going to get tons of demos that you can actually work through. It will allow you to actually lean into this. If they can get a good showing out of it and flesh things out in the best of 3, it'll be a little bit more to play with. But obviously, that is what is going to be going on later on. Let's look at what is going on right here, right now on the Bean stream. The Bean stream? The B stream. Avangar versus Renegades. Nods. This will be our first best of 3 that we will have going down. Obviously, for Avangar, it was an interesting match to show up at first. They went against SK. They kept it fairly close. It was a 16-10 scoreline, but that wasn't really the full story because Avangar, in reality, only won a few real rifle rounds. They were struggling. A lot of it was really off the ecos. How do you think they're going to get into it as we delve into this one and start to get that veto going through as well.
Yeah, it's really hard to gauge here in terms of what the level was from Avangar in that first matchup of the day. Obviously, versus SK, past 6 months, easily scouts as the best team in current. But then for Avangar, winning both pistol rounds, still only gaining 10 rounds versus SK on Cash as well, a map which you can really snowball off the pistols, especially on your T side as well. It is hard to see what their real level is, but going versus Renegades, in terms of the veto, Overpass ban coming up from Renegades, I like that ban. Versus, Mouse Sports, a Go as well online. I actually watched back the Overpass Avangar versus a Go, demo. Avangar have some incredible CT setups on that map. They're very, very loose as well on the T side. It's very hard to deal with Jame on that map. Anyway, obviously, ban coming out from Avangar as well. Nuke, they don't want to go anywhere near that one. Mirage being the pick here for Avangar. So this is something that we're hoping to see, a map where they can play loose. Obviously, Cash was that, but the nerves were there. Now they really have to play like there's, everything to lose here. They have to show their presence, their performance, their current form of online, and try their very best to transition that over.
As that goes through as well, the second map that is going to be picked will be Cash. There's the Inferno ban, Snods, as it's shaping up to look pretty competitive here, actually.
Yeah, Renegades playing Cash. Obviously, they saw the game, or maybe not saw the demo, but saw the scoreline, 16-10. Probably also saw the fact that Avangar won both the pistols. So, in terms of buy rounds and the consistency there, they can try and topple over the Kazakh side. Bans coming out as well. Train being banned by Renegades, and the Inferno ban, Respect ban from Avangar into Inferno, which leaves the final map of this best of 3, Jack. If it goes all 3 maps, Cobble, and a map that's very interesting for both these teams.
Yeah, so Mirage, Cash, and Cobble will be all 3 maps that we have decided for this best of 3 here. And this is business as well. Everyone needs to really step up to the mark. For Avangar, this is essentially their last chance to display what they need to.
Yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts of this best of 3 in terms of the veto, at first glance is, if there is a chance for the upset here, I don't see it being a 2-1. Going into these maps for Avangar, if they can get the 2-0, going on the final map, obviously Mirage, great map for Avangar. Cash, again, a map where they can play that loose style. Jame with the AWP can be extremely, effective, dynamic with the AWP, but getting those entries across the map. And also a thing for Avangar is they're very good at transitioning leads. If they get the first frag off the AWP, or say Kuka gets aggressive, gets the first frag, they're very good at translating that into a run victory. The final map being Cobblestone, I just don't see them having it in them to have, even a chance of the upset. I think it is I still think it's a 2-0 for Renegades, but there's definitely a 60, a high chance they can still gain at least 1 map in this best of 3.
Yeah, I think so. For me, I think Renegades will take it just overall. Obviously, we know how much damage Renegades can do. What do you think, though, with the addition of JKM, how that's really going to sort of bode in this best of 3? Do you think that could be an impact overall, or just what do you expect to see getting in that?
It's hard, really. It is hard if you are Renegades. Obviously, Nafly being the star player, obviously came into the team, statistically such a strong player to have in your arsenal, really upped the firepower of the roster. Jakim, he's announced publicly as well, he's on this 6-month contract, right? It's a test contract. For Renegades, do you want to put, a 1-2 year, do you want to double down on this player? Do you want to wait for the next roster shuffle, essentially try grab a player? So you have this 6-month window where Jakim can be extremely motivated. It gives a lot of pressure onto his shoulders, of course, because he knows he can be dropped at a moment's notice, essentially. But that could also be used to his advantage in terms of having the motivation to perform. So far, in terms of kills, statistically, he has definitely performed. Even the matchup versus Stralis as well, he was the only player above 20 frags. I believe it was 20 or 21 kills he had versus Stralis. So in terms of the firepower, it's definitely there. But does he have the impact frags of a Nafly where he's lurking, he's getting those rotation frags on the T side? He's so good at anchoring as well. We just don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be a lot of wait and see as well to see how exactly he fits in and is utilized inside of this squad with Renegades and how he's going to be put up to the mark. Because when you think of firepower as well, there definitely still a lot of that left inside of Renegades. Another one that you've got to mention, of course, is JKS, someone that lives up to his name because he can be an absolute savage at times.
Surname Savage. That is quite something, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, obviously, now on this roster, does he fill this star player role? Nifty, we can't forget him in terms of recent performances. I mean, past 3 months, Nifty's been unbelievable. It feels like ever since that Star Series Shanghai, it really put him in the limelight in terms of being this AWP player that can really have such an impact at the start of the rounds. That's almost an ideal scenario as well, especially on the CT side. Renegades have so many smart, intelligent ways of utilizing Nifty's AWP at the start of the rounds. I mean, I was watching a Renegades demo on Overpass, for example. Some of the rounds they'd have Nifty go B short, they'd molly B short, peek over the Molotov. Other rounds they would go 2 towards B short, they would smoke the tunnel, they would nade the door, you peek towards the back of connector, or on Overpass he'll push A long with perfect flashbangs from his teammates towards toilets, for example. You can see in the background there as well, Kassad standing behind the players, being the coach. Definitely one of the reasons why this 5-man unit really works as almost as one.
It's true. Obviously, someone with a lot of experience from multiple years there. Always really been a big dog when it comes down to it. And he's someone that you do respect in terms of his call. He's got a lot behind him. You know if he says something, you need to listen, get your heads together. What Kassad says goes.
Yeah, not sure what the issue is right now. I imagine they're about to have a quick team talk. Obviously, they cannot afford to lose versus Avangar on this losers matchup, of course, and go all the way back to Australia. I believe they are, now located back in NA. But even then, in terms of game plan, what do you do versus Avangar? You know their defaults are strong. Do you try and counter the defaults with a double AWP setup? We saw that from SK. Obviously, on Cash, it was Fallen, Cold Zero, both AWPing A and B. They had Fur rifling towards middle, and that way they had AWPs at either bomb site. So if we saw any contact plays or Jane with the AWP trying to get aggressive, it was always met by the CT side AWPer holding the angle and obviously therefore having the advantage. For Avangar as well, you know that the nerves are going to be instilled across this roster. Remember, Jack, average age of the roster from Avangar being 19. So in terms of experience, online, potentially. We saw they have confidence versus teams like Space Soldiers, Mouse Sports, Godsend and whatnot. On LAN, a completely different story. So for me, Renegades should have this one in the bag. Maybe one map, upset on Mirage potentially if Renegades aren't ready for the level. But even then, I believe the match is underway.
Yep, seems like it, as we will be able to dive into the action. Renegades on the CT side, Avangar going to be over on the T side, so we can get in here as we kick it off with Mirage, our first map in this best of 3 to decide who is going to be going home and who will be keeping themselves alive in this group.
5 players going towards the B side. They have the double flashbang as well, I believe. Oh, a smoke towards window. Blocks off all the information, but here comes the push in it with a contact B with the flashbangs as well.
Tag up used to low earlier, so he has to fall back instantly, but he actually is able to pull a wall over their eyes there. They had no idea. He gets the first fires back on Dimasic, but Buster will take him down a notch as the B site has been completely overwhelmed. Jacob as well taking damage. The bomb is going to be passed over towards the site as Kurt tries to throw it across, and then Bob and Weave takes the fight with the Glock and comes out on top as well as he takes down Nifty. Everyone is so low, Snods, as they're just sitting there lying in wait. They need to try and do something. But Avangar looking like they want to take this pistol round in a very effective fashion, as they will be able to close it out. It's just JKS left. He's in a 1v3. The man can be a savage with the USP, but surely he shouldn't be given the opportunity. Pete comes through. First headshot taken. Jane just waiting. He has no reason to peek. They can all just hold and wait for the push to come towards them, but he's still going to face, and he is going to be very effective in his play. Takes him down, Avangar get the opening pistol round and set themselves up for success.
Avangar and these pistol rounds, Jack, why are they so prolific with the pistols? It feels like the skill is definitely there. We see this a lot where the underdogs are extremely strong with the pistols. The reason being is, the defaults, the tactics in terms of the utility. Only 2 players are buying utility, for example. The star players, your star fraggers, only have to focus on their crosshair and landing headshots with the Glocks or the USPs. It's one of the reasons why Avangar have been so strong so far in this tournament on the pistols. 3, out of 3 so far in terms of those. We're on to round number 2. And it will be the 4-player force by Nifty, of course. It's going to be on the USP. Going to be saving for that AWP just in case Renegades do lose the force. At least then the AWP is still secured into round number 4. But here we have it. 2 SMGs here for the side of Avangar. Chris is going to be wielding the UMP. Jame as well, the MAC-10, the AWPer for Avangar. So get as much cash as you can onto your AWPer as fast as possible.
Well, they're staying close in connector, and they do find the first frag as well. JKS will be able to eliminate Buster there with a CZ from range. Just sprays into him. You can see Dimasic just waiting to see if they would extend out a little bit further as well, but no real push is going to develop just yet. A minute on the clock as Avangar set themselves up as well. 2 players still holding towards mid, whereas the other 2 are situated just outside of B.
Bait set up here towards connector. JKS looking down from the box. Doesn't actually show his face here to James, so I imagine as soon as JKM takes contact, there he is. 5 versus 2.
That's that 1-2 punch as well. You play with the CZs, work together. Obviously, there was no trade potential there really for Avangar. They attempted to make something work, but it's all gone wrong, and it's just Q-Cut left. This is not the way they want these rounds to go, Snods. They had to link them together. Azza's done it. Sprays with the AK. Renegades instantly with the reset, and they only took one casualty in that round as well.
1-1. Avangar trying to go for their mid default. You saw a smoke came out towards Connector, even though they smoked out Con. Avangar not showing any respect. They don't show discipline versus the smoke towards Con. They just wide face towards short. The first player dies, 5 versus 4. Then obviously JKS playing the bait setup in towards Connector. And another 2 frags were found for Renegades, and then suddenly we saw 5 versus 2. The remaining 2 players trying their best to make a mark or ends meet towards their B-bomb sign were easily taken care of. And now we see a technical issue. Not too sure what the issue is or how long it will be paused for. Kind of difficult in this scenario, Jack. There isn't really too much to break down. But going forward, obviously, 1-1. Renegades on the CT side, they're able to win that force buy. And the question for Avangar now is, do you go for the full 5-player force?
Well, that's the thing as well. You just wonder for Avangar in terms of confidence. You can see everyone looks a bit somber there. Dimmersek looking like it's upset him a little bit. Doesn't look too
asleep,
happy.
mate. Dim asleep. He's not enough here. They're all just out of energy, it seems. You play the first game of the day, you get hyped up, and then suddenly, you know, it's all gone. Where are the Pringles?
Yeah, they're not looking too crisp right now, as everyone's heads have drooped a little bit. But obviously, we're only 2 rounds into the matchup. They can still easily resurge into it, but Renegades just being able to find success there towards mid. It seemed a little bit incoherent from Avangar. They attempted to try and take mid control. Obviously, the 2-player setup worked out well. JKS opens up the round, and then it was just a matter of time before they closed it down.
Yeah. Question for me now is, for Avangar, how do you recalibrate yourselves on your T side? Obviously, you've won the pistol, as we know Avangar is so strong at doing. And how many players are going to force? Wow, even James forces as well. And for Avangar on their T sides, playing that default style, they work the map, they get map control, they make very good mid-round calls. If they lose this round here, Jack, they'll be lacking the AWP defining factor of their T side onto James. And that could be a recipe for disaster if it does all go in their favor.
Nifty as well. Seeing if he can get the early opening. Yuka actually does deal damage with the Deagle, but surely he shouldn't be allowed to find the frag from this. The smoke will go down. They both have a bit of an awkward confrontation, but they stay alive to fight another day at the very least, as it appears to try and be a small play towards this A site. Obviously, Krizen's gained a lot of map control. He's been able to get towards close connector. Jacob just holding, seeing if he can get a read on where exactly anyone is, as they are all in close proximity towards him.
Jacob spotting up Krizen there towards underpass. Doesn't really know too much anymore. You can see no one really playing too aggressive from the CT side.
Ooh.
Quicker finds the first. And now on a 5 versus 4, Nifty is low as well. So is Krizen. 55 seconds left, and if you are Avangar, how do you utilize the fact you have the 1-player advantage to go back towards mid? You try boost window now, expecting the mid player to rotate towards kitchen. And I believe that might be the gap in the CT defense here, but it all comes down to Azza.
James here, trying to be distributed behind them, get him into the back line, see if he can try and dismember them from the rear if they're not prepared for it. Azza, they're going to be able to wield the AK effectively, gets the first headshot on towards Buster. James is there, trying to set up the play, but they need to do something snappily here, Snods. They've not got time to dilly-dally. It needs to be quick, smart as time ticks away. 20 seconds left on the clock if they do want to attempt to get anything out of this round as they swarm towards A. Nifty is low.
Oh
Nifty's been taken out as well as they find that frag with the P250, connecting the headshot. JKS spamming as he attempts to go for the peak. Fairly nicely done as he controls the recoil there, take down Dimmersik, but here comes Jacob on the face. The assault with the AK as he's hungry for this round, supported by JKS as well. The savagery should be unreal on this one as they're just able to line him up and knock him down. Effective retake, and Renegades will get the round, but Avangar get a bomb plant out of it. They deal some damage to the economy as well.
Smart play from Avangar though, I must admit. Obviously, you work your default, you're trying to work out the CT setup. Kuka as well finds that crazy headshot towards the B bomb site, and then suddenly they don't get overzealous, they don't overface, they don't just rush into B and throw it all away with Azza towards short, for example. Instead, they play calculated, methodical. They communicate. This is the thing on their defaults. They do play smart. They expect the mid player to over-rotate towards kitchen. They expect weakness in the CT defense there, or a gap at least. Unfortunately, Azza was staying towards CPL, able to spot both the mid boost and also the short push, able to find that frag there, and as Avangar came in towards the site, it looked close, especially as well the bomb was planted in front of triple, so it was planted for jungle, for connector, where they were. Oh, yeah, I can see, you know.
I was having a bit of a look around there. Obviously, Jame on 0 cash at all. We got the AK over on QCurt. But this is awkward as well, because obviously we saw him force beforehand, so we knew his economy would be low. But you still want him to try and be able to get that AWP out of in somewhat of a reasonable fashion, especially for their T side, as Jame normally is one of the more effective players in terms of opening up rounds for them on that T side.
Well, this is the eco, of course, from Avangar. So for Renegades, this is the mission to try and see how much cash you can farm, essentially. 4 or 5 players staying alive if the CT side would be ideal. Obviously, you don't want to have to reimburse yourself and rebuy Kevlar utility, the AK or M4, sorry, not AK, M4 or AWPs. So instead, play efficiently, play a clean anti-eco, have 4 or 5 staying alive, but Jack with the Glock here could try and diminish that. But the AK has actually shifted roles here, Jack, now into Crimson.
They're grouping up. It looks like it will be applied towards the A site. In terms of utility, though, to actually get them in and provide them a little bit of leeway, Snods, there's not really anything to help them. They've only got the one Molotov on Crimson. Instead, he's just going to go for the contact face as he slowly encroaches towards their domain. It just depends if there's anyone there to take him down. JKS covering the angle. It's an easy spray with the M4, hungry for more as well as they'll double it up. In the meantime, Nifty found a nice little frag on Jame, and they do get that 3rd round.
Yeah, I mean, the goal there for Avangar, obviously, you know, get the bomb down. If you can't get the bomb down, at least try and get 2 frags with your Glocks or Deagles. Obviously, you land 2 kills. You're essentially taking out, what, $10,000, $11,000 worth of investment from the CT side. And obviously, the goal for Renegades is, if you don't have the SMGs to be, you know, stacking up the cash, $600 per frag, you want to have 4 or 5 players staying alive so everyone can absorb that round win bonus. But enough about the money, Jack, and more into the rounds. First buyer we've seen so far, as we obviously had the upset forced by victory from Renegades. As we are now into round number 5, it's going to be the 4 AK buy from the side of Avangar. 1 CZ for Jame, obviously sacrificing his firepower to drop over the AK into the last round, which wasn't too effective. Nifty as well, with the AWP holding towards underpass. Has no one covering his short push though, so it could be overrun potentially, but instead still going to be staying. But still, default coming out from Avangar. They're trying to work the map. Ustilla as well, aggressive towards B apartments, which means Azza can play towards CPL. And this is great, Jack, because Azza has short control and has the window boost, which means Nifty can just hold connector, take a shot, go all the way to CT and not worry about the window boost. Makes his job a lot easier as the AWPer.
Nifty. AWP in hand as well, just covering the angle, scoped in, ready for the push to come towards him. Slowly they start to reposition. Buster is the one that wants to try and make some noise and cause a scene if he can. Right now, held back by the flashbang though, so more and more time is slowly being drawn off the clock. They're whittling it down to try and get them into an awkward position, force them into a fast decision-making, cause mistakes to be made as they set up for this pincer play towards the A site. The miss from Nifty isn't going to go too fantastically. Goes for the second face, misses again. They bound in. The acrobatics are being displayed. QCurt with the first. Buster with a follow-up frag as well. Here comes Dimasek into the action as he demolishes them towards the A site. Ustilla is the only remaining member on that CT side as he needs to be the Renegade member to go huge into the round. Arrives on the scene, hoping to cause a stir if he can. Smokes go down to keep him second guessing as they hold towards the site, but both of them are trapped, Snods. They can't rotate off. They have to hold close and try and play together. Ustilla pushing through, gets to the sideline, sideswipes the first one, takes down Jame, grabs the AK to play with as well as he tries to locate the bomb. Tunnel visioned in though, focusing, believing they're going to strike from Palace, when in reality he's right behind him the entire time. Dimasek with a 3rd frag into the round, and Avangar net themselves a 2nd.
3-2 then as we go into round number 6. Nifty whiffing that shot towards connector. Suddenly it opens up the ace split on the cards for Avangar. Coming in through Palace, through ramp, through connector as well. And as soon as you lose that connector player, the rest of the remaining players on that ace are so exploitable, susceptible to the split, obviously being shot from all sides and all angles. And now for Renegades, if they lose this round, Jack, they'll be forced onto an eco. So if it does go 3-3 and Avangar win this one, we could be seeing the Kazakh side taking the advantage. Bomb left towards T-spawn as well, so once again the slow default coming out. And this is what I wanted to see from Avangar, obviously, imposing their own game style, something we didn't see versus SK, where the nerves were definitely there. They were going for these, weird and strange five-man contact plays B, or 5 players grouped up towards a uncharacteristic for a team like Avangar, where they work the map systematically and make those crucial mid-round calls.
Yeah, this is very true. A little bit more like what we expect to see coming through to them into this round, as they've got a minute left on the clock. They're going to reposition round, grab the bomb as they try and set themselves up. No real damage been done just yet. But Crizzen, he's going to tiptoe his way through. Try and sniff out if there's anyone close towards connector so he can get the early advantage, as he is going to be detected. They have that read now, but it seems that A will still be the true play into the late round here.
Once again, going to be testing the luck towards this A-bomb site. This time, Jaken with an M4. No longer the AWP wielding this angle towards stairs. We'll find the first frag. Goes for the second as well, but eventually traded up by Crizzen.
Yeah, the Khalil, too great in that one, as he's able to spray his way through him, takes him down. They got 30 seconds, but they've still not pushed out of ramp. It's quite delayed, but luckily, Buster needed to get that frag snods. He peeked out, the timing was perfect for him. He had the distraction in his teammates as well. They were focused in, but he couldn't quite do it. Nifty hoping to go for the wall bang as he knows the location of the bomb being planted. Maybe there's a chance, but he hasn't landed it just yet, as they are into a 4 versus 3 retake.
3 versus 4. No defuse kit here for the CT side, so time is of the essence. 3 players coming in through CT as well, so Crizzen could go huge. Finds one, gets traded out though, so it's still the play advantage here for Renegades.
Oh, but there's the response. Nifty with the AWP. Nifty as well. Goodness. As crisp as a Pringle as he comes into the site like a madman, blowing him a bits. And retakes it. Azza as well coming through with the defuse, and that is going to be another round for Renegades.
Oh, look how close that is as well. 3-4 seconds left on that defuse as Renegades pull that one through, and it will go 4-2, and that's a round as well where the money was on a knife's edge for Renegades. If they had lost that one, Jack and being reset, we could have easily been seeing, 4-3 advantage for Avangar, where they would have the money being in their favor. They'd have so much cash worked up from that, and Renegades would have been in quite a big slump there. Instead, though, they pull it through. Obviously, the shift of having an M4 there towards connector, anticipating the split coming out towards the A-bomb site. Interesting as well from Avangar. So far, they've seen very, very heavy connector control from Renegades. At what point do we see a execution towards the site where they can try and isolate Nifty or the solo A player, the anchor player, alone towards the site, get that frag, and have a 5 versus 4 while the A site's in their domain? Or are they going to continuously go for these defaults and walk into the playbook of Renegades where they play aggressive towards short from Azza, 2 towards connector that are ready for these mid-set defaults?
Well, this is the thing, obviously, right now, just playing that more standardized style. They're going to be holding for choke points, waiting for the push to come towards them. Avangar, into a lot of these rounds as well, they just haven't had the utility usage to actually kind of back up that style of play. It's been much more default. When they have had the utility, they haven't tried to run the risk, and they now fall into this situation where their economy's in a bit of an awkward spot as well. So obviously trying to see what they can achieve towards B, but they're just being sent up on a date with a coroner right now as everyone hits the deck. Yustilla will be tagged up. He is low. If Buster pre-fires on the exit, he should find the frag and try and grab himself a free AK to wield into the round, but it's still going to be risky. Yustilla goes for the peek. Azza backs him up, though, as Azza gets 2 and the 3rd. Another round goes their way. Nothing for Avangar to really write home about still, but at least they can get a buyout.
So, what's the game plan going to be here from Avangar? So far for Renegades, they have $3,000 onto 3 of the players. So if they lose this round, they have some, safety net to fall back on, so they can potentially forward a goodbye to the next one. So for Avangar, they need to be thinking about consistency, continuity as well. They have to chain 2 rounds together if they want a chance of shattering Renegades' money. So they're going to have to get the job done sooner rather than later, Jack. Orp from Jane, getting aggressive towards mid here, obviously expecting Azza to go for this wide face before he goes in towards CPL. Smoke comes out towards short as well. I kind of like that. He's trying to draw the peek out from the rifler towards short. And obviously, it allows him to cross without peeking in towards connector. So maybe we could see him go for the challenge towards CPL, potentially. He will eventually fall back, so bomb. Making his way back towards the A site. Crizzen potentially going to be lurking towards A if they go for a 4-1 split with Crizzen lurking from behind. But as he waits for that smoke to fade, the flashbang comes in, but still, Avangar plays slow.
This is the thing, though. Renegades still consistently running the same setup right now. Avangar, once again, returning as they appear. They do want to go for attack towards the A site, but they don't have the smokes to block off any vision. It's still only a minute left on the clock, and in terms of utility, they've got 2 flashbangs and a Molotov snods.
Oh, dearie me, yeah. Ha! Didn't even see that. Well, obviously lacking the flashbangs, lacking the utility. That's a dream for an AWP as Nifty finds the first frag into this round. 45 seconds left as the Molotovs from the CT side burst out towards A. Crizzen goes 1 for 1, but it's still going to be the advantage of Renegades.
Oh, Azza as well. He's able to get the 2nd frag out of that, and the 3rd. Looking just deadly right now as he takes these fights and consistently comes out on top. JKS to support, even though he goes down. His brother-in-arms was there to give him a little bit of help when he needs it. And finally, a pause coming through as well for Avangar as things have gone a little bit south relatively quickly.
Well-timed pause, though, from Avangar. Obviously, one of the issues you see from these inexperienced teams is not understanding when to use that pause or understanding at what point you need that mental break able to tap out, have your coach who can see all 5 monitors, instill his vision as what he thinks they should do into this round. But 6-2 down. Avangar claiming the pistol, so far only winning 1 buy round, and that 1 buy round was basically all sprung from Nifty missing those 2 shots towards connector, potentially uncharacteristic as well. And as we go now into round number 9, it will be the quasi-buy, it seems, from Avangar. So once again, you know, the exact same narrative here for Renegades. They should go 7-2 up, should be around where they have 4 or 5 players staying alive. And their money isn't the strongest, Jack. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, you know, $2,000 onto a few of these players here. So this is the round Renegades need to really set a precedent for the rest of this first half.
Yeah, obviously for Renegades, just trying to continue on, get as many rounds as possible on that CT side. Lock it down early, play with confidence, allow yourselves to set the tempo, and restrict that T side from ever really getting their feet off the ground. As right now playing it slow, expecting potential aggression towards mid, as Buster plays anti-flash with support, but they're not going to delve in too deep.
Once again though, Jack, all grouping outside this A site. They went towards B on the pistol, and ever since then, it's always been favoured towards this A site. But once again, heavy connector control coming out from Renegades. As Dimasic is spotted out here with the deagle towards Palace. Bomb going to be retrieved by Buster back into spawn. And with 55 seconds left, and no real map control anywhere, Jack. Where do you go? What utility have they got? Well, they have no grenades. They're going to be walking into Azza, who's close towards short, hasn't overextended towards, you know, CPL. He's here towards the site. He's ready for his pistols to jump out the window. You've also got Bustillo as well, the anchor for Renegades, as they're about to walk into their impending doom.
He's set up. He's ready for it. The M4 is there, hungry, as he wants to just lock them down. As they push through, they attempt to overwhelm as they swarm out, but Azza's on the response as well. And it's an easy spray for Azza to finish up the round. Closes it down. Another 4K going to be jumped straight into his bank. And Renegades, with 7 rounds, Avangar just can't quite decide what they need to do. Obviously restricted an economy in quite a few of these rounds, but the rounds we have seen played out always seem to go down the same way. Control towards mid, very slow. The utility they do have isn't used to that much of a great benefit. This time around, Snod's utility is a lot healthier. Where do we see changes?
Where do we see the changes? I mean, we know that Renegades play heavy connector. You could go for the set A play, obviously. The only issue is there, you use your utility to get the site, so it's very hard to hold it when you have a lack of smokes, molotovs, flashbangs, etc. Okay, very aggressive here from Jane. Maybe the change of tempo, getting aggressive this time, could be the difference maker. And so far, Dimasic finds the first as they make their way in towards the A site once again, but it's Jacob.
Yeah, he was straight out. You could see him sprinting along, charging through, hoping to really just cause a ruckus and really run away with the round, but it didn't go down like that. It's been slowed down now, grounded to a halt, as it's just Jame and Krisen left, and they're really unable to do too much. Obviously, Jame as well, just being kept at bay at mid, consistently being flashbang, just kept in place. Bustillo knows his location, as they're just going to hold their angles, and there's still a minute left on the clock. This has been such a fast round that things just went wrong in the early game. Jane finally goes down as well. Krisen, the only remaining member on that side of Avangar, and he'll surely be taken down soon. Falls to Jacob, and Renegades with another round, just back to back.
Yeah, this is very hard now for Avangar. You've got the first frag from Dimasic. You have the 5 versus 4, and I said, you know, they're very good at transitioning advantages. But instead, you know, they just rush up Palace, they rush out ramp as well, walk into Jacob, hiding towards Sandwich. Easy 2 frags for him because they're not even expecting him to be in that scenario. I mean, obviously the second player is, but he gets a very easy first frag, lines up the pre-fire towards Palace and connects the headshots essentially. And now finally we're seeing the execution as they go towards mid as well. Maybe this is the defining factor, but look at JKS's positioning here. No longer is he playing close towards ramp, playing on the default site, playing towards triple boxes, playing far back, anticipating a Palace burst, anticipating these set smokes. And right now for Renegades, you can see they're leaving no opportunity for Avangar to have any chance into these rounds.
Yeah, when they do try and go for the take, it's been countered before they even have a chance to show their hands, Nods. Their cards have been counted, and And the casino isn't going to be happy about this one as the push comes through, trying to make their play towards close connector. Nifty just roaming, deciding where he's going to be needed the most as the push will come into effect now. Azza finds the first frag as per usual, takes down Q-Cut. There's the response from Nifty as well as he punishes Dimasic, lands the shot with the AWP. Buster and Co need to work together as a unit. They have to be a well-oiled machine and fire from all cylinders if they're in with a chance to do anything. And Nifty with the flick punishes them. He might miss the second, but Jacob's there, saves his teammate as well. So it's another flawless round for Renegades, and it continues the streak. 9 rounds for Renegades on their CT half.
I mean, if we can see the scoreboard as well when we go back into this one, I think it's going to be great to see just how one-sided. I mean, look at this. 2 rounds have been bomb plants. Obviously, they had the round where they rushed towards the A site. Bomb was planted there, so in terms of buy rounds, they've had the bomb down 3 times. Goes to show just how dominating Renegades have been so far into this first matchup, and this is Avangar's map pick as well. The next one being Cash, a map that Avangar can definitely play. But Renegades potentially going to be even more favoured as we see. First frag found here, Nifty trying to go for the overzealous, over-peeking towards B balcony. Jacob tries to go for the 4 versus 4, but instead concedes the extra frag. As we see a 5 versus 3, minute 25 left on the clock as well, and suddenly these rounds are these frags are accumulating all for the Kazakh side.
Yeah, they're actually starting to get the ball rolling here, even though they didn't have utility to try and go for more of a set play. The group style FCS, where they can actually attempt to trade for each other, is working well. They're dealing damage and they're finding critical frags around the map. The last 2 remaining CTs are grouped up towards B as well, but that is where the Avangar train is about to arrive. Let's see if it's going to dock in the station or if it's about to be derailed as Renegades are just waiting for it to arrive. Azza with the first peek. He's been a machine at defending the B site in the past, and he's not going to go down without a fight in this one. Gets 2, and it all falls to the man of savagery. The trigger discipline is displayed. Finds the first headshot, though, on towards Jane, but there's a man in the rear ready to attack him. Buster will take him down, and Avangar get another round.
9-3 then, as we go into round number 13. A very, very well-timed pause. I'm very happy to see this, Jack. Reason being is, for Renegades, obviously, winning, what? How many was it in a row? 6 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
Momentum's in their favor. Avangar win 1 round. They had 3 early frags, a 2 versus 5, then converting into a 1 versus 2. So it goes to show, you can never count Renegades out in this matchup, it seems. But even then, soon as Avangar get any footing back into this first half, as we go into round number 13, an instant pause to deny any chance of momentum being gained or a snowball effect. And also it means they can discuss what they're going to do to reset the money for Avangar. Because for my money here, Jack, if this goes 10-3 and Avangar get reset, we're looking at 11-4, 12-3 half, and I just don't see Avangar coming back into this.
No, definitely not, as it's just looking a little bit shaky for them. Let's see, though, as into this one, Snod's actually completely different from what we've seen. We've always seen this constant aggression towards mid. It's going to be more heavy hitting towards the A site. They can set up for smokes as well. They actually have utility to play with. It's always been restricted in these prior rounds, but Q-Cut takes it contact. He walks out. It's a bold play, but let's see if it pays off as the Molotovs go in. Nifty holds the angle. Jane with the first, though, as the AWP's finally starting to be flexed. We haven't seen it into this matchup to see how effective it'll be on Mirage. They bait out the shot from Nifty as well, so they get the read. They're encroaching upon that CT side map control, but there is a backstab afoot. Jacob is going the whole hog the entire way round to try and be the spanner in the works into the late round, but the site control has been taken, and they still don't need to plant because they've got 1 minute and 10 left on the clock.
Renegades have to bait for Jacob here. We have to see flashbangs, utility, or something to draw the attention away. But instead, Buster able just to hold the flank. An easy frag found by him. Nifty here, the smoke towards the bomb. Doesn't quite go that far, though. Oh, and the duel versus James, 4 versus 2. They can deal damage here to the money.
They're finding these frags. It only comes down to Nifty. He lands a wonderful shot there as he actually is able to punish Dimasic, and he looks like he's wants more as well. Bound in as he's on top of the steps and wants to be on top of the round, but is he going to have that opportunity? The HE's going to be deadly, Snods. It should dunk him out of the server. Blows Prison away, but there's Buster to come through and break him down.
For a second then I thought there was a chance for the HE connecting as well, but 9-4 as we go back into reality. Penultimate round here, the first half, round number 14. And no second pause from Renegades, so they are going to be going straight back into the action. But obviously winning 6 rounds so convincingly as well, they have cash at their disposal. 9-4, as it will be the AWP this time for Nifty. UMP though for Yustilla, but playing towards the B apartments, it shouldn't be the biggest issue for Avangar into this one. AWP again for James. So we saw some life this time, obviously. It's been rather desolate. hasn't had the same impact. Trying to go for another audacious peek. We saw it get the advantage towards the A side. This time, changing the tides towards B. But it'll be Buster instead that wins that duel versus connector on Nifty.
Gets the initial frag with the AK, which is good as well, because Avangar have actually struggled to find the first picks into these rounds. It's a little bit better for them, so they can attempt to adapt their style of CS now. Play the tempo that they want. They don't have to overcommit to anything. You can play for trades, and they're grouping up back towards B. B's been a bit abysmal, though. They have been struggling to get in.
They have, and that is an understatement, Jack. Obviously, they had the pistol round, but apart from that, it's been on hold. The bomb is making its way towards the B apartments. The smoke is fading as well. You still are going to go for the jiggle peek, I imagine. Has the support as well for Azza. So if the money comes in, we'll draw him back. A really good HE. Actually doesn't connect anything, so Azza, no utility. Oh, you still as well, just one flashbang. So Avangar, if they pounce on this B bomb site right now, there's 3 players here, but they're lacking utility. Well, they're lacking utility to check. They have an information. JKS with the push now towards T-spawn. Can Renegades hold for long enough for the impact to come from behind?
The issue is, though, Snods, any push they go for is going to have to be drier than the Sahara Desert, as they only have 1 HE. They cannot blind anyone, but they have discovered that the A site's got to welcome that. They can completely draw off all their forces. They can rotate round. Renegades are going to have no idea what's going on.
Heartbreaking scenario here for Renegades as Jacob goes all around the world. And it's all futile. Buster, still here. Dimisic as well, still located towards the B bomb site. Finds the frag, still tries to rotate towards the A bomb site. But JKS finally has an impact with all that flank. But unfortunately, it merits nothing else.
Damage is already done. The round is over here. Buster just looking to see if he can find any actual more exit frags, if they're going to be silly enough to exit and divide and not actually work together and stay alive into this one, as he can try and force more guns out of their hand, leave them in a really critical position off the back of this one, as they are hunting as much as possible.
Terrorists win. 10-5 as we go into round number 15. Any pauses? Obviously for Renegades, they could try pause, try recalibrate themselves, come back into this one and try and get to double digits. Obviously 10 rounds, 10-5, a great stellar CT half, you know, especially when you think about the acquisition of the pistol round victory for Avangar, adding to the, 5 rounds they have. So, no warp for Nifty. We know Renegades form and structure their team around that, especially on their CT side as well in terms of aggression. 4 rifles to round off the rest of the buy for Renegades. And a fast play from Kristen, obviously. Found the first frag in the last round. This time trying to go for a duplication of that success, but you can see Nifty not playing so aggressive towards connector, this time playing close round with the UMP. Jacob shifted from A towards the connector position, having the longer ranged rifle. As still as that smoke fades, maybe setting up the rest of this round.
Dimisic with the spray and pray there, hoping it would actually connect through the smoke and tag someone up on the other end, even if he couldn't see them. He will transfer a small amount of damage, but he receives a ton more than it's actually worth in that exchange, as time starts to tick away as well. Around a minute left on the clock now into this round to decide who will get an extra round to play with at the end of the first half.
As they're leaving short as well, coming back in towards the A bomb site. Heavy stack towards Enna from Renegades. You've got one player towards window, 1 player towards stairs, 2 towards the A site as well. So if Kikir has a very well-timed lurk here, this could be the defining factor to keep all 4 players here. Look at the rotation from Hazra as well. Was going to go towards window, goes back in towards jungle, and now it's all down to Yustillo.
Well, it's the B-site burst, but let's see if it's going to be a party or a flop on this one as they try and find success. Yustillo with the initial frag. The response is there from Buster as he'll crack open his skull, but they still need to get more. 25 seconds on the clock as the bomb will begin to get itself into a good position. Jacob on arrival, causing a fuss as well as he finds that frag. Buster bobbing and weaving, taking the fights that are necessary, peeks with the bomb out. Somehow he stays alive, barely holding on to try and fight another day. They've got 10 seconds. They have to recover the bomb. This could be the push that could be the difference, but it doesn't work out, Snods. All on Q-Cut. He might be incredibly talented at aiming, but if no one's going to peek him, he can't take the fights. They get through it. They time them out. Renegades with 10 rounds, Avangar with 5, as they win that one off the back of time.
Yeah. 10-5, and speaking of time, we'll be back shortly to conclude this matchup after a short break. And obviously for Avangar, winning the first pistol, can they carry that forward into the second half?
Welcome back, everyone. Renegades are currently leading in this series. The first best of 3 to decide who is going to be going out of the tournament here. They have 10 rounds on the board. Avangar are behind with 5 as we dive into our second half. Renegades now on the T side. Avangar being your CT. Snods, how's this one going to go down?
Well, all really depends on this pistol round, Jack, obviously. Avangar claiming the first. Still only able to accumulate 5 rounds as a total after 15 being played out. And now into the second half, Renegades stomping their aggression and their confidence onto this A site. Actually, the Molotov will burn. Kuka away from jungle. And a very effective pistol round coming out.
Go for the play. Jacob and co. Deep in. They've taken site control, but they're being very active in their offense here as they want to attempt to push through. Nifty with a nice little shot as well. Takes down Jay, but there's the response from Buster as he busts down the defense. Starts to make this one manageable. They're going to slip round, but then the location of Jacob. Double face.
Oh.
Not even necessary. It's all on Q-Cut there. Time is of the essence, though, Snods. There is one kit in play on Crizzen, so they need to be quick. They are finding these frags. Dimasic will connect that last shot. They're going to jump on it, and they will be able to grab it. Ooh.
They've got it, 100%.
It's close, though.
How are these guys so good with pistols, Jack? The skill's there. I mean, how many times do I have to repeat myself? The skill is in this roster. And then as soon as the grenades come out and the strategy comes out and there's, more dimensions of Counter-Strike that are instilled into this, game, they just crumble. And for me, it's quite, good to see. I know that might sound strange, but it shows there's potential for this roster. Obviously, it's not as if they get blown out in terms of skill and individually. These players can be good.
Well, this is the thing. When it comes down to aiming, they can go toe-to-toe in the middle of a cell, but when it comes down to having to use that utility Snodge, you could see there were struggles there in the comprehension of how they wanted to play rounds, but this is an aggressive burst. They are straight out from Renegades, but they're straight down into their graves as the frags are found. It's just JKS remaining. They're hunting towards him as well. Q-Cut denies the plant.
Yeah, but Renegades got the bomb down in the last round, and actually, forgot to mention, a very, very good pistol from Renegades that we saw 2 rounds prior on round number 16. One of the things that's very popular at the moment, Jack, is jungle pushes on the Mirage A-site takes on your pistol round. You buy 1 Molotov, 1 smoke, you smoke out top of connector, you flash CT, you jump out on the site, you then flash in towards stairs and jungle, and you Molotov jungle, so you force the player Q-Cut back in towards window. You swarm jungle, and the bomb's planted for connector and window. You have such a good foothold into that matchup. It's one of the reasons why the bomb was even planted, and we see ourselves in the situation we see now as the AKs are in the inventory and arsenal for Renegades. So they find the first, who's still aggressive towards Shaw and his team, match him as well towards B.
They're going to have to go full Dragon Force, though, Snods, if they want to get out through that. The Molotov comes in to attempt to break them apart and slow down the push, but they do still slip on towards the site. Tons of time as well, but they're instantly going to commit to that plant as they've got the angles on lock. Avangar to try and rotate back through. Dimasic, he finds the first kill. There was the backstab, but all potential of that has been eliminated in a matter of seconds. More to come as well. Nifty with the spray as they'll get a nice little headshot back towards Crizzen. And things have gone so wrong for Avangar.
Renegades having the B site in their domain, leaving just Dimasic and Jame. 2 versus 4 exit frags, They are going to have some impact, obviously, as this is the first round for Renegades with a fully bought. Avangar converting the pistol round victory into the anti-eco victory as well. So getting exit frags will, whittle down and damage the economy from Renegades slightly, but you can see, $3,000 onto 3 of those players. The drops are going to be easily justified. But yeah, initially, aggression towards short, gets the first frag there. Instant reply and reaction from Renegades as they bust out B, actually smoke out the Molotov, jump out, easily trade the frag towards that B bomb site, and then suddenly Avangar are forced to essentially save in such a disadvantageous scenario. But back into it though, Jack, back into the Matrix. An AUG for Kuka. This is getting desperate now.
It's interesting. Let's see how it pays off. Let's see what he can do with this AUG. It's going to be outrageous. As the push comes through, they want to try and get the first few frags. Dimasic and Jame, though, obviously this setup can work very well as they find the first frags. The bomb is down on the ground. JKS has completely dismantled them from the rear as somehow he's been able to slip inside. No
one holding Palace from the CT side defense. 2 versus 3, the AUG doesn't even scope and forfeits that frag. Nifty with the second into that round, and now there you have it. 12-7, Avangar have been sent into disarray. 5-round advantage for the T-side Renegades going forward. And yeah, I was about to sing the praises for the Kazakh side. Great setup towards ramp. Obviously, you're used to seeing an AWPer or the player playing that close angle. You then have the CT side player playing the cubby, the close, well, as you come into ramp essentially from the T-spawn side, close right cubby. You first see the AWP, gets contact, baits you in, draws you in. You try and trade that frag, so you push forward. Not expecting that second player. It's very easy to mow down 2 or 3 players. Oof. Crisp headshot there onto Jacob. 5 versus 4. The Renegades, even though they lack that one player, still have the firepower, utility, and well, overall confidence advantage.
Yeah, down on Deegan, as he will be able to get that first frag, but is there any more to come his way? Forced to fall back right now, as he will just be letting him slide. The bomb is situated towards top mid, as it does seem like the true play from Renegades will be a full force fight. They just want to try and see if they can get anything out of this, trade this back, and get it into more of a manageable situation. Wolf pack up, play that style of CS. They have tons of utility and tons of time.
Only issue right now for Renegades is the fact they lack map control towards A or B. No one towards ramp or palace or B apartments, but as Avangar go for the risky stack towards the A side, it seems like there's going to be no repercussions from that. B site is theirs for the taking. Molotov comes in, going to be done on the rotations, but Crisp already found the first frag here for Avangar that got them the advantage, but right now it's slipping away.
Bomb going down though. JKS will get the plant, as they've got their angles covered. There is the lurk. Q-Cut needs to be poised. P250 from behind. He could punish them. Struggles to line it up. Couldn't quite do it. Azza as well nearly turns on him, but still will do the job for him. Takes them down. JKS with 2. You're still with another one to close it out. And Renegades get that round. It doesn't matter what Avangar find in the early game. They didn't have anything really to back it up. There were bold claims. When it came down to the crunch, they couldn't quite get it going.
Round number 21 then. 6-round deficit for Avangar on their CT side as well, Jack, as we go into another round. Or this time for Jane. No Kevlar though to back it up. No utility as well. Look at the grenades here for the CT side, Jack. 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs. Jane trying to go for the jump towards short. His teammate has smoked out connector though, nearly shooting him as well. So you can see the nerves and the land jitters are still here for Avangar, but that's expected. So, concentrate towards short. You still finds the first for a second time so far this matchup. A fast double frag as well for the CT side. Oh no, it's slipping away.
This is what we wanted as well. Just trades from Avangar, being able to go for that 1-2 punch. If you lose the first man, just trade it back, get yourself into a good situation. But the true play has gone down towards B. They forced their way in. Frags are still coming through. It's all left on Azza. He's in a 1v2. He's found the first frag as he needs to try and grab 2 more. Minute on the clock. He went for the full commit on the bomb plant. Didn't try and draw the peak. Just went for it. Dimasek will take him down because of it.
Interesting as well. Renegades, in the last round, they went for that short split towards B, where they had players in B apartments and players towards short. We saw the smoke to smoke out the vision from connector. This time, Yusula finds the first frag towards Con. Doesn't expect a second player. They combine with the crossfire from short, connector, Avangar to spray down the whole of the T-side aggression from B short from Renegades, and suddenly the round has basically slipped away for themselves. But can Avangar turn this into some consistency? Can they turn it into multiple rounds and not just the one flash in the pan?
Try to push their way down right now, as it's a heavy hit towards mid from Renegades. The bomb is left in T-spawn, so it isn't a commit. Jacob finds the first frag as well, was able to connect the headshot on Q-Cut. It will be that pinch to play towards A. The backstab is there. Crisp potentially with a UMP. If he can get to close range, try and use that SMG as the element of surprise, maybe there's potential. Azza just holding the angle though. If he goes through, Azza's going to win that firefight every time. Will get the headshot, does eliminate him. In the meantime though, there has been a response with the AWP. Obviously, Jame on the AWP can always be deadly. Buster as well. Goes for the surprise face, and they've completely ruined their plans. Everyone's trying to reposition as they will try and resituate towards B.
Oh, the timing there as well for Buster. If he goes down, the whole B portion of the map is completely exposed. And it seems like it's going to be anyway here. 45 seconds left, and oh my god, it's a game of cat and mouse here. Buster jumps that window, if only he knew what he's about to be walking into.
Big man Buster needs to be ready to...
It's the bomb.
Bludgeon them snots as he will get the first, eliminates JKS, the bomb's down, that's the read. They can rotate through as it is a commit. As soon as they see those smokes, they're going to know this is for good, and this is real as they push in. 25 seconds on the clock, Nifty goes for the instant commit on the plant.
Bomb's not planted for Yustila though, they have to find frags so early here. Actually, a decent plant if they can stay towards Elba, but it all comes to this next frag. James has to secure it.
Well, Justillo pushing through as he goes in towards the shop. He cuts down prices and he cuts off heads as he finds the first headshot on James. There's the further follow-up, but the bomb is being defused. Time's ticking away, but it doesn't matter. Justillo through the smoke as he smashes them down. One by one, they fall. And another round for Renegades.
Yeah, I called it. It was all down to James towards Kitchen. If he doesn't find that frag, it's so easy for Justillo to peek out, bait the cross. He spots towards B apartments. He spots towards short as well. Could have even retrieved the AWP of James' body if he had more time just to spot the cross with the AWP. But for Renegades, they find the frag onto Buster. It goes 1 for 1. They understand that the B side's clear. The bomb not even planted for Justillo. In the 2 versus 3, still doesn't make a difference. 14-8 now, and that might be the final nail in the coffin for Avangar. What have they got left in the tank?
They're running on empty, and they're running on low economy as well, as things go quite wrong for them. JKM and JKS, just easy frags being picked up second after second. They are all just falling to pieces. Snods. It's just Jane remaining, quaking his boots towards the A site. Peeks out, caused a bit of ruckus, but that's all it was. His bark was loud in his bite. As he does go down, Nifty finds that kill. 1 round away from already picking up Mirage and getting themselves with a 1-map advantage in the best of 3 to decide which one of these teams is going to be going home from the group stage.
Yeah, I mean, not only a 1-map advantage into this best of 3, Jack, but also Avangar's map pick, and that being Mirage. You know, you take out Overpass, you take out Train, and suddenly things get a bit awkward for Avangar. In terms of the map pool, if you're playing teams like Renegades, SK, on your Mirages, your Caches and whatnot, so difficult to get these 1-map upsets, and then you factor in the best of 3 GSL best of 3 format we have now, where you have, you know, more of a, you know, well, more games essentially to determine which team is better. You know, the chance of the upset just diminishes drastically. So, match point for Renegades should be, you know, fairly easy going in their favor. 7 match points to work with, and the buy as well for Avangar is going to be fairly lackluster.
It's a heavy group play as well. They're really rolling the dice here. They're going to group up, playing the close angle. Dimasic just going to be holding close. He's got support from Krizen. He's the only one with a real weapon, Snods, and even then it's just the UMP. Pushes through the smoke to play close on ramp, still with support. Renegades getting the feelers out towards B. Could be awkward.
Once again from Avangar, we saw it when they played SK as well on Cash, where they take these risky, bold stacks. High risk and extremely high reward as well. The problem is that they're going to have to be hitting black 7 times in a row. I might not know the numbers, Jack, but it's not going to be something to rely on. But a minute left on the clock here as Renegades are still trying to feel the map out, trying to work out where all these CT side Avangar players are situated, as they are playing up close and personal with these SMGs, with these CZ75s as well. As Renegades are falling into the trap from Avangar, it might be Kazakh Thunder to strike towards ramp if they're walking with the bomb at the wrong time.
There needs to be so much precision here in this play. It's all about the correct timing. There's the first peek going to go the way you still. There had to be the refrag from Krizen. It doesn't work out, but James slays JKS, grabs his AK, but doesn't get a chance to wield it. No frags coming through for him today. Nifty will take down Q-Cut, and Renegades take victory 16-8 on the first map. Avangar's map pick gone in seconds.
Yeah, 16-8, and we've got to add the caveat here as well. Both pistols, once again, have been won by Avangar, and this time even worse of a performance than we saw earlier. 8 rounds, not reaching double digits after gaining the buffer from the pistol. So, in terms of buy rounds, there is a weakness onto this roster. You know, they have the skill, they have the individual players. You know, we know Buster has that individual capability to open up rounds and find success. Online, Jane with the AWP is so good on these defaults of finding entries across the map and really facilitating the T-side defaults from Avangar. But in terms of a team, you know, this caliber, Renegades, SK, they simply just don't have it in them just yet. But, you know, average age of this team is 19, Jack, so there's definitely potential and talent to work with.
That's the thing. They've definitely shown they've got firepower. There's been so many rounds where the fragging potential has been great, and the caliber of that's been impressive, but if you don't have the experience and you can't quite get your heads together, that's where the cracks are going to rise from. We saw through so many rounds, lack of utility, lack of prioritizing utility.
Yeah.
And even when it came down to it and they did have utility in the way they utilized it, it was just very, very interesting. A lot more in terms of just face value aggression rather than slower strategical CS.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue, right? We're used to seeing the slow style of play. They get the pissed around victories as well. This is the thing that's so bemusing to me is you gain these pissed around victories, and from there you're going to have a strong start in terms of economy. You can afford the full utility buys into the first buy round. We saw a Mirage, they'll go for those slow defaults, but towards mid, towards Connector especially as well from Renegades, they were able just to deny any assault towards mid, any real estate trying to be gained by the Kazakh side. And every single time they went anywhere near towards Connector, basically JChem, Nifty, annihilated them every single time. And you know, where were the set smokes towards the A site? Where was their big execution? Yeah. You can't just always rely on your defaults, especially on LAN as well.
Yeah, that is true. Obviously, things need to change. They've still got more chances as there is more to come. It's a best of 3, so potentially one more map if Renegades come in hot off the presses like they just did and lock it down, or if there's a response from Avangar, they need to win 2 back-to-back. Stay tuned to see how this is going to go as we'll continue on with the series after the break.
Intel Extreme Masters.
All eyes are